Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to our weekly WeAwake virtual online meditation experience. And it's one of the high points of my week to get together and meditate with you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have learned from our experience that when we do these things, there's a powerful field, energetic field created, and using the technology by itself, but is powerful. But when we do it together, there's just something, the universe is saying, this is important, all right? So today we're going to do the first track in a brand new series that we just released called In, Out, and Through. And it is a 20 minutes. It's a really short meditation, but it is a guided meditation whose the voicing, the guide is Judith Pennington, who is a dear friend of ours, a colleague, a very wise woman, just a brilliant person, and I love her to death. But I had no idea she was such a talent when it came to doing guided meditation. So she sent me these things, and I was blown away. And then we coupled her stuff with the entrainment music of Lee Spoosta, whom you guys know from a lot of other things that we do at WeAwake, and put it together. And I think it's just amazing. So this is an opportunity to move into a non-dual energetic experience, if you will, which in many schools of meditation is kind of the ultimate thing that you're looking for in meditation, is for the body mind drop. That's a Zen saying, where you're the normal stuff, I'm my body, I'm myself, my personality, my thoughts, my experiences, all of that stuff just goes away. And lo and behold, what's there? Well, nothing is there, but nothing is conscious and alive, you know. So it can be scary when you're not used to this. In my case, I had studied transpersonal psychology, so I knew all about this. I had books and books about this stuff. So when it started happening more often, I'm like, okay, I'm not going crazy. This is actually to be expected or even desired. So this is, and the meditation is by Anna Wise, and this is the book Awakening the Mind. She wrote a whole bunch of books, and she passed away, unfortunately, I don't know, about a decade ago. And she was just a wonderful spirit, soul, intellect in the field of brain entrainment and the field of understanding brain waves to help deepen our understanding of meditation and transformation. So the guided meditation is written by her, and it's read by Judith Pennington, and the music is by Lee Spoosta. And I'll say a few words more about after we finish the meditation. So shall we do this thing together?
Relax deeply. Use your landmarks to help guide you down quickly and effortlessly into a deeply relaxed meditative state. Allow yourself to let go of all spiritual goals and personal expectations. Just become present inside yourself, right here, right From here, begin to allow yourself to expand. You may feel the expansion first in your body. It's almost a sense of growing, larger and larger. You may feel the expansion in your energy system, moving upward and out.
Welcome back, everyone. And thank you, Judith and Lee and Anna, for that experience. And yesterday, Pam and I were speaking with a friend in Europe, and he said that he had just gotten connected with a Zen teacher who was going to be a spiritual teacher. And our friend is now, he's not just a beginner on this journey, he's been around, but I don't know what it brought that up, but I said, just know, if this is a realized Zen master, in other words, he has experience that the Zenis are not talking about. They spend a lot of time not talking about everything they are anyway, or that they're doing, that he doesn't necessarily know anything about relationships, money, politics, emotional health, all this stuff. So that's just that awakening part that the Zen and the great traditions of the East talk about, and also our great mystics in the West, Christian and Islamic, and everything in between, it's just the beginning. And when we have a practice where we can begin to touch in to these states of enlightened consciousness, where we realize that there is only one thing, okay? There is only one thing, and that thing is God. You can call it that, you can call it whatever you want. And you are that. And when all of the stories and the dramas and the suffering and the triumphs or whatever of your life goes away, that's what there is, this one thing. And you come back to your personal expression of this allness, your individual self. It's pretty interesting. And how do you walk in this world as an individual who has a journey, has experiences, has tragedy, has successes, has all of these things, in very short period, that'll be over. What do you do? And the great mystics say that the understanding that we get when we confront that reality, when we become that reality, that non-dual essence, is really, 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 really good. And the goods, you don't have to put an infinite number of goods. That's how good it is, you know, like good to the power of 1,000,000, you know, think about it. That's a lot of zeros. That good. And that somehow gives meaning and purpose and justifies everything that we experience as being human beings. And why is it important that we wake up to that? Well, because we want to. Eventually, there's a part of us that wants to wake up, wants to realize who and what I am and why I'm here. And why is there something rather than nothing? Why is there a universe rather than a nothing verse? Okay. And the scientists keep helping us to understand how long this ago has happened, but they say 13.8 billion years ago, there was nothing. And then this infinitely small something expanded into very simple, odorless, tasteless gases. And in a very short period, you know, boom, we had galaxies and universes and planets and waters and dolphins and fish and dogs and you and me. What? How did that happen? And some way, in our deep practice and our deep meditation, we actually experience that. We experience whatever that isness is that became us. All right, the whole universe. And there, you know, the scientists say there may be many universes at this point. I'm not sure about that. I haven't been there that I know of. But the idea is of waking up to that essential goodness, beauty, love, compassion, unity, will help us to live our individual lives in a much better, wiser, and happier way. Okay. We will be able to confront the tragedies of our lives, like the fact that we're going to die. Everyone we love is going to die. Everything we love is going to. So, and I think we kind of just, let's not think about that. And let's have a good life. And, you know, as long as it rolls, and then it's over, right? But a lot of us do that. Or, you know, you can have religions that explain all this stuff to you. But ultimately, nothing against religions at all. Religions are, I think, are expressions of this great mystery that I was talking about. But it doesn't get us off the hook. You know, at some point, even though we may be religious and very devout in that sense, we have to confront God on our own. We have to experience this ultimate realization. And it's a realization because we realize, we already know it on some deep level. The great mystics always say that. When you wake up, it's a remembrance. It's not like, oh, I never knew that. It's like, oh, yes. How did I get lost in my own dream world? You know, how did I get lost in this world that compares to the reality of the experience of God seems to be almost phony by comparison, because it's not just another reality. It's a hyper reality. It's a real. And obviously I'm using words to describe something that everybody's been saying it's impossible to describe, which never stops us from trying to describe it anyway. You know, that's why we have language and all. So, as I said, I think before when I began, that just because, you know, you have this experience and you get this realization, or you have a teacher that's had it who's trying to teach you some way to come to this realization yourself, it's just the beginning of the story. Jesus compared it in Gospel of John. It said, being born again. Except the man be born again, he can't enter into the kingdom of heaven, can't enter into this consciousness, can't enter into the reality of our own birthright, who and what we truly are, what we all are. And that's just the beginning. So how do we move on from being born when you're this helpless little beautiful expression of the universe, but obviously not good for anything except being loved and absorbing love and being taken care of, move into the kind of human beings that we have the potential to become, and in which we deeply love one another, in which we deeply expand our consciousness to be able to take other people's perspectives and understand why they are suffering, so we can do something about that. And we can get rid of stupid suffering, ignorant suffering, and embrace the noble suffering of living life and waking up to who and what we are. And many of the mystics say that we've been around a whole bunch of times. I mean, some of us are new souls, haven't been around very long, and others are have been around the block a few times. And in that time, the good and the wisdom that we accumulate begins to somehow cohere. And so we can bring the wisdom we learn, the lessons we learn, to our next lives. And I've had some experiences that would indicate that. I can't prove it, with a microscope and a test tube or scientifically. However, there's been a lot of studies done about this thing, and where children know things that they couldn't know, and blah blah blah. There's a lot of evidence that may be so, and I certainly hope it is, because I'm sure I'll need a few lifetimes to have it totally figured out. But what we want to do from the place of what we achieve in our interior practice, our prayer life, is take that love and take that understanding and that compassion and bring it out into everything else that we do. So we begin to create a world where everybody has a good shot at happiness, okay? And we're all in this together. And nobody's saved until we're all saved. Nobody's rich until we're all rich. Nobody's awakened until we're all awakened, because we are part and parcel of each other. We are each other. I am you, and you are me, and we are we, and that is all together, as the Beatles said in a different way, long time ago. So anyway, thank you for practicing, and bless your joy, bless your pain, stay present, open-eyed, open-hearted, and if you need help sorting all this stuff out, ask for it. I do all the time. God, help me, help me to get my poor act together for my poor wife, and have to put up with all my nonsense, and help me to be, just a better man. And that's a good story, and it's a noble story, and it gives meaning and purpose to our lives. So that we're in this together. It's infinitely vast. It's infinitely good, believe it or not. And don't get lost in the headlines going on right now that somehow it's all bad. It's not all bad. We're so close to being very, very, very good. So let's keep the struggle. Let's keep the dedication and the courage and the love and support for one another cranked up and going at the high level, because as Francis said, in giving we receive. So thank you for sticking with us this experience one more time. And Jasper, thank you for joining us. And everybody else out there, we love you, and let's keep doing this thing, the work, together.